Happy Sunday, guys. How are you? Welcome into another episode of the Daily Juice podcast with me, Matt Perrault. My Twitter handle at Sports Talk Matt. Following a 2-0-1 night, UFC and boxing go our way. We get the minus 150, the main event to end quickly inside the distance. We got that. Maybe a quick stoppage. Doesn't matter. Our bet cashed there. And Devin Haney on the even money. Domination over George Kambosos Jr. I had it 10-2. Some people said 8-4, but that was you could make a case for 12-0. Haney was all over him. Las Vegas' own Devin Haney with a big victory. We get a push on the Oilers because Mike Smith, my goodness, lets in the softest of soft goals at the end of the first period. We should have had a 3-0 day. That should have been a sweep. Instead, it's a 2-0-1 night. They were tied after the first period. Oilers are done. 3-0 now for Colorado here in the Western Conference Finals. I am going to do something a little bit exotic today because and somebody got mad, like, why are you going exotic? Well, I went exotic. It went 2-0-1 yesterday. I don't know what to do with the hockey game. I feel like I have to bet the hockey game under. There's no other way to bet the hockey game but to bet the under. But I don't know if I want to bet the under. It's juiced up pretty good, minus 125 to the under at 5.5 for the Rangers and the Lightning. But the thought would be, okay, come in and hammer Tampa, right? Game 3, they got to win. But look what just happened. Edmonton goes home and they lose. So I don't have a real strong feeling on the Rangers and the Lightning. And I don't want to force it. I don't think it's really worth it to force a bet just because, it's the Eastern Conference Finals. I should bet. I don't feel it. I need to watch this series more. I've been cold in hockey, so I don't really want to do that. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to give you 4 prop bets for Game 2 of the NBA Finals, and that's it. I'm not going to push it. We got a lot going. We got a lot on this series between the Warriors and the Celtics. A lot of plays, a lot of bets still in play. A lot of bets that we're watching and tracking, including the 10-1 and 7-1 tickets. We were wrong on the total last in Game 1. So why not get involved with some player props, have some fun, and I'll tell you this. If the Boston Celtics at any point catch more than 7.5 points live, plus 7.5, that's the number I want. You give me plus 7.5, I will be betting on Boston. The Boston Celtics, here are the stats. The Boston Celtics are currently 14-1 when the line, ATS, when the line is 4 points to a pick on either side. Okay. The Warriors are 1-5 in the finals over the last 5 trips to the NBA Finals at home when the total is when the spread is 5 points or less. Total is 4.5 or 4. Okay. I'm telling you, you give me 6.5 points, I'll think about it hard. You give me 7.5 points, I'm all in on Boston. Okay. That's my number. I told you that in Game 1. It was 6.5 in Game 1. It's 7.5 in Game 2. But if I get plus 7.5 at any point live, I will be on Boston at plus 7.5. You might be able to get on the other side Warriors plus some money too, plus 4 or 5, depending on what Boston does. So I have no feel for the total. I lean towards the over, but I don't know. Maybe Boston's defense locks down. Maybe we see the Warriors lock in, but no feel on either side. So no play on the hockey. I will bet it live. I'll look to see. I lean Lightning, but nothing live. Nothing pre-flop. Nothing pre-flop on the side, but live betting in the NBA Finals is going to be very profitable. 7.5 is the number. Boston money line also at the same time. At plus 7.5, take that. Take Boston money line. You're going to get a pretty good price. We'll see what the in-game price looks like, but you're going to get, right now it's plus 150 on Boston money line, but I would sprinkle on the money line for sure on that. Okay. So 4 player props to jump into. You guys know I bet quarter units on player props. Totally up to you as to how you want to do it. But let's start with Jordan Poole and 13.5 points out of Jordan Poole. It's currently minus 120 to the over on this. Jordan Poole has scored an average of 17.8 points per game in the postseason. He played big minutes in Game 1, didn't shoot the ball well. 1 for 5 from behind the arc, 2 for 7 from the floor, okay? I think you're going to see a much better game out of Jordan Poole here in game number 2. 13 of his last 15 games, he's gone over his point total, his prop bet, having 14 points or more, averaging about 24 points per game following a loss. And in 15 of his last 18 games at home, he's been averaging, he's scoring 14 points or more, averaging 22 points plus in these games. Jordan Poole over 13.5 points is just too low. Jordan Poole over 13.5 points at minus 120. The other bet for the Warriors I'm going to make is on Klay Thompson. Excuse me. Klay Thompson, 3-point shots made. Right now, under 3.5 threes for Klay Thompson is minus 140. It's juicy, but I think it's a good bet. All right. Boston's keying in on Klay Thompson, and 3 really is the number. He has 3, 8, 2, 3, 1, 1, 8, 3, 0, 4, going back to May the 7th. So he's only gone over this number 3 times. 3 for 7 in game number 1. 3's the number. 2, 3, or 4. That's what he's going to wind up with, okay? And I think it's better to play the under on this, just given the fact this game could be lower scoring, this game could be slower tempo, and Boston may key in on Klay Thompson and just sort of take him away and not give him open looks. He needs penetration. He needs kick-out shooters. I think Boston does a really good job of stopping that from happening. I think Klay probably gets 3, and we win this on the hook. I'm going under 3.5 made threes for Klay Thompson at minus 140. I've got 2 Celtics prop bets to give you, and I'm going right back to Marcus Smart. We hit this in game 1. I'm coming back with game 2. You can go and find this at FanDuel at 4.5. Over 4.5 rebounds for Marcus Smart is plus 120. Marcus Smart had 5 rebounds in game 1, had 9 in the last game against the Heat, 4 in game 6, had 5 in game 5. Okay, he's gone over this 3 of his last 4 games. On the season, Marcus Smart is averaging 3.8 rebounds a game. Look, I just think guarding Steph, the deep 3-point shooters, Marcus Smart does the little things. He's going to grind it. He's going to get after it. I know 5 is a lot. Need to have a very similar game to what he had in game number 1. It's plus money for a reason. But I'm going to go over 4.5 rebounds for Marcus Smart at plus 120. And I'm going to stick with the rebounding number and look at Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum right now, over 6.5 rebounds for Boston is minus 115. Jason Tatum, rebound numbers, he had 5 in game 1, 10, 9, 12, 8, 6, 5, 8, 6, 4, dating back to the 13th of May. 6.5 gets hit consistently, okay? He's gone over this 3 of the last 4 games. 5 of the last 6 games. He's gone over this number. I think Jason Tatum's active. I'm not sure he passes. Everyone's going to bet the assist prop for Tatum. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with the rebounding. I think he'll be more active rebounding. 3 for 17 in game 1. That won't continue, but I can't bet the over on points on Tatum just because of the way he's played in the playoffs. I just don't trust it. I'd rather go with effort. Tatum can give you effort at the rebounding spot. He can go up and get it. He has some size advantages. He's got some ability to get to the glass. Jason Tatum over 6.5 rebounds at minus 115. All right. So in game, I got stuff going. If I add in the hockey game, I'll make it official. If I do, I'll go to the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat to get in there, or the link underneath me on YouTube. I'll give that to you guys live during the hockey game. But for basketball, 4 player props here for game 2 of the NBA Finals. Jordan Poole over 13.5 points at minus 120. Klay Thompson under 3.5 made threes at minus 140. Marcus Smart over 4.5 rebounds at plus 120. And Jason Tatum over 6.5 rebounds at minus 115. Let's go Celtics. Obviously, I have a homer hat on today. But let's see what happens in game 2 of the NBA Finals. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt each and every morning. It's a Daily Juice podcast. Always being brought to you by BetMGM.